Test, test. Can you hear me? Can you hear me good? Yes? My name is Anthony Rother. I'm a producer for electronic music. I'm born in Germany, and I was growing up in near Frankfurt in Germany, and I started very young making music. When I was 11, my dream was to become a musician. I grew up in an area where the home computers were coming into private living, so I grew up with the Commodore 64, and because of this and some other small calculators that make music, I had the dream to become a musician. So I'm here invited to talk about the history of German electronic music, and the way I talk about it will be a very subjective, it will be a very personal view on how I saw German electronic music. It is not the whole history, it's just a part how I am influenced by it. Of course, electronic music is a worldwide phenomenon, and what I present is just what happens from Germany and what I was influenced by. So it's not everything, it's just a part that's a very private view on things. When I was asked to do this masterclass, I did not know what I will do. So when I prepared the masterclass, I was writing a script for it, and I find out very fast that it's, I'd say, a bit boring if I just talk about music. Because talking about music is like talking about food or cooking. It has no value because you have to taste the food. And so I made a presentation with music and videos and tried to give you an emotion about the electronic music and how things are connected in history from the German perspective. So I would start now. Just again, for me private, this was a calculator with a music instrument, and when I was young, about 11 years, I got this from a schoolmate, and when I started playing on this, I had the dream to become a musician. So I still have it, and this is the reason why I do music today. My mother bought me this little synthesizer from a mail order catalog, and I made music with this. I had it always with me. I carried it around everywhere I walk. As a kid, I have the synthesizer with me with headphones. Everywhere I took the headphones and played music. You could see me walk in the city with this everywhere. So this was my first synthesizer. Then I got a Commodore 64, and with a little keyboard before, I make music, but I could not record anything. I could record it on a tape or something, but I could not make a production or something that I could arrange or something like this. With the Commodore 64, first I was playing like a kid. I played games, but then I got music software, and it's two music softwares I got. First, it was a software called Microrhythm. It's a software with samples where you can program beats. And when I found out about the software, I programmed beats, and I was fascinated because I had a machine and I could program it, and it plays what I created. So in this moment, you must imagine I was a small kid. I understood I can create something and I can play it back. So I could make somehow a production. And this time I did not know it was a production, but I knew I can do something, and I just press play and it's playing. So the first thing you hear now is a beat from a Commodore 64 from this program. So I was very fascinated by this as a kid, and from the time it was in the 80s, and this was somehow my first drum machine. And in this period, I did not know about electronic gear or where to buy it or something like this. I just had this, and this gift gave me an idea to make music. So the second software is a software also from a German guy called Chris Hülsbeck. He is a very famous music producer that made music on the Commodore 64, but later also he worked for big game companies like for Star Wars. He made music, and he created this program, which was a program that was free of charge. And I got the program, and it looks a bit crazy because today you call something like this tracker software. And I started to play with this software with my keyboard and this software, and I created somehow music. I created a song for a demo for the Commodore 64, and the song, I got it from the internet, and now you can hear a song that I made when I was, I think, around 14 years old. So it's like a cover version from a German band called CCCP. So now I want to talk a bit about the history of German electronic music. And what you see here is the Trautonium. It was invented in 1930 by the Germans Friedrich Trautwein and Oskar Sala. They developed it in Berlin, and it's considered a precursor to the synthesizer. So we always have to look on the time when things happen. So this is 1930, and this is the first electronic instrument that was invented in Berlin. And so this is the first synthesizer you see there. So Oskar Sala, one of the guys who invented or created this instrument was also the guy who played it over the years until the end of his life. And in the 1950s, Alfred Hitchcock made a movie called The Birds. And the sound of the birds are created with this instrument. Oscar Sala played the sounds because Alfred Hitchcock, he wanted something special, wanted some special sounds with this unheard technology, because before this, nobody heard sounds like this, electronic created sounds. Now we hear him playing the Trautonium. Yeah, it's fascinating because this is the father of synthesizers, this instrument. So the next thing about German electronic music is the Studio for Electronic Music in Cologne that was opened in 1951 and was till 1999. And in this studio, they made electronic music there. Karl-Heinz Stockhausen is the most famous musician who worked in the studio, and he created somehow electronic music as a, let's say, as a genre somehow, in an academic way. So this is also a pre-synthesizer. To make electronic sounds, they used like laboratory instruments to create electronic sound. So I put together some pictures so you can see. I have a few into the studio. Yeah, there it says, it's again here, there were no musical instruments. They used broadcast and laboratory equipment, sound wave generators, filters, tape machine to create this kind of electronic music. This is Karl-Heinz Stockhausen. So Karl-Heinz Stockhausen is a very important musician in the history of German electronic music and in the history of electronic music. He was the first musician that took electronic music into and composed it. It was not experimenting. He he composed the music, and he has written down how to play these kind of instruments so that you have a partitur and other musicians can also play this music that he wrote. Before this was not, it was the partitur was for piano, strings, and stuff like this, but he wrote it for the electronic instruments. And he wrote down how to move and everything that's automated today in the synthesizer, like an envelope or something like this. He wrote it, and somebody had to do it. So that's a change in just experimenting. He created, I don't know if this is the right term, but like a genre of it. And it was academic. And he recorded in the studio for electronic music in Cologne. And yeah, he is again. His approach of creating sound is fully controllable musical material, strong influenced how electronic music was understood and used afterwards. So he wrote so many music, but this is one of the most known or very important kind of music that he made, and it's a mix between electronic and real instruments and a boy who's singing, and yeah, let's listen to it. So, and also always have a look on when it happens. It's 1956, so it's pre everything that's electronic. So, and what they did there, it's from the perspective of time, it's fascinating. Fascinating. So, if you talk about electronic music or the history of electronic music from Germany, Kraftwerk is a very important topic. I'm a big Kraftwerk fan. I admire what they did, and I'm very heavily influenced by Kraftwerk. And so for me, it's it's a pleasure and an honor to present Kraftwerk to you. I mean, most of you will know them, but so they from Düsseldorf, and also they are from this avant-garde time with Stockhausen. So you must see it like they heard Stockhausen, and they are, I guess, also influenced by Stockhausen and by the avant-garde from the pioneers of electronic music. So now they are starting to work with electronics. And Kraftwerk transformed electronic music into a minimal and precise style that became one of the most important foundations for modern pop, electro, techno, and electronic music worldwide. And they combined technology and music in a new way, creating a sound aesthetic that influenced countless artists across different genres. Their work showed that electronic music could be both artistic and accessible while still being deeply experimental. So most of the techno artists and techno music is reference to Kraftwerk's work, the most that I know. Maybe the new generation is maybe not so much attached to it anymore, but for me it's clear. My work as an artist is heavily influenced and is based on the pioneers of Kraftwerk, but in the line also on the works of Karl-Heinz Stockhausen, and if we go further back to the Trautonium that Oskar Sala played. So this is connected to time, and it's very important to see this line of history for electronic music. So I put together some videos from Kraftwerk to show you also how they developed the sound and how important it is till today in electronic music. I'll also put some pictures together. You can see them with their, I think it's the first versions of their robots. So Ralph, Karl, Wolfgang, and Florian standing there with their robots. And what I think it's very interesting is the way we see musicians, electronic musicians today, how they appear with the equipment. I think it's also, if you see where it comes from, you see it here somehow. This is a shot from their video Trans-Europa Express in Düsseldorf. And here we have Trans-Europa Express.
Verlass Paris am Morgen